Is the Nika fruit the only Zoan fruit without set transformations? I still think Luffy does not have transformations. Outside of Gear 5, he has one transformation. The rest, I don't think it's transformations. I remember the simpler times before Luffy was a sun god, where he was just a simple rubber boy from East Blue trying to be Pirate King. Because even back then in those days, people still used to argue that Luffy had transformations, and I used to disagree. I never thought Luffy had transformations. The first time I thought Luffy had the possibility of a transformation was Gear 4. Everything before that, to me, were not transformations, easily. So let's go through it. Gear 2, what we were told back then, that may change in the future because we know now that we didn't have all the facts. So now we have to wait for the actual explanations. But the lie that was told to us so many years ago was Luffy, through the influence of CP9 and the move Sorrow, saw them use it, kick off the ground 10 times to get the leg strength to move in a speed where it looks like you disappear. Luffy pumping blood through his legs, increasing his metabolism, and making him stronger, faster, not smarter for sure. But with that increased blood flow came this pink skin color-ish with smoke around it. And we were told that it was just blood rushing through his body so fast that it made his skin pink, which to me is a side effect of a technique, not a transformation. There's a very big difference between that and, let's say, Goku going Super Saiyan, where he's transforming into something else, which is from base to a Super Saiyan. Now have anime only explanation, yellow hair, way different from Gon transforming into his adult self, which could only be explained by anime, him using his Nen, making a contract with conditions to get his adult form with extremely long, luscious hair. Much different from Naruto transforming into the Nine Tails, being covered by the Nine Tails cloak. It's not the same. This is Luffy pumping blood, making blood rush through his body, and turning his body pink. That sounds like a side effect of a technique to me, not a transformation. What is he transforming into? Gear 2, it's still him. Nothing changes but his skin color. So I never thought Gear 2 was a transformation. Gear 3, he's literally just blowing air into his arm. Is Choji transforming when he used expansion jutsu? I don't think so. Actually, I hate Gear 3 the most because it's literally just one move. It's just him blowing and punching or blowing and kicking. It's literally a technique. Most of the time, just a big punch or big kick. How is that a gear? How is it a transformation? I don't even think it should be called its own gear. And now you have one of the more tricky ones with Gear 4 and 5, where Gear 4 is a mix between Gear 3 and Haki, where he blows air up and he uses Haki to keep the air in, and it makes him bouncy, springy, and able to beat guys with string powers. But is that really a transformation? It's literally still same. I mean, he looks different, yes. He's bigger. It's kind of the same as Gear 3. I know in the anime, for our perspective, my argument is kind of off because we can see the Haki and like the tattoos, but we know in One Piece, they don't actually see the Haki. The Haki is there for us because, you know, pre-time skip, Ace and Blackbeard in that fight, they both had Haki and were probably using Haki. We just couldn't see it, and now some people think they weren't using Haki or Haki didn't exist. But we were told characters in One Piece can't see Haki. The black thingies are just there for us watching. So to Dofi, he just see a big orange ball bouncing around. We get to see the cool design, tattoo. So it's like, I could completely understand someone calling that a transformation. Luffy transforming into a ball, bouncing, Snake Man. And there's different forms. So I get it too. I get it. I'm easily losing this one. There's different forms. You got Tank Man, Snake Man, Bounce Man. So I could concede. This one is, I'm still iffy. I still don't want to call it a transformation, but I can see it. I can see it. And in Gear 5, there's no argument. His entire clothes is only can be explained by anime, and the Devil Fruit power changing white with his hair. typical anime transformation. That's definitely his first solid transformation, and only solid transformation to this point for me. But the crazy part about all this is, my previous video, someone made a comment that had me thinking, now we know Luffy is a Zoan, and Zoans have transformations. So it's just like, screw what this guy says. Luffy is a Zoan, and Zoan has transformations, which means Gear 2, Gear 3, Gear 4, Gear 5, all Zoan transformations under the Nika fruit. Are they though? You're trying to tell me without the influence of CP9, someone else that ate the Gum Gum fruit is going to think of Gear 2 and use it in the exact same way that Luffy did? You think that's the exact same as like King or Queen or any other Zoan that just transforms into the animal? You have a set hybrid, a set full form like Marco and everyone else. Anybody that was to get Marco fruit would have the hybrid, would have the full bird, and all the other things of a normal Zoan. But Luffy don't seem to me like a normal Zoan. So I can see anybody blowing air and coming up with Gear 3. And if you want to call that a transformation. Gear 2, I don't know how many people is coming up with Gear 2. I don't think you're just stumbling along Gear 2 like that's just a set power of the fruit. I think that's specific to Luffy and his creativity and him innovating new ways to use the fruit. I don't think that's just a set thing in the fruit that, oh, everybody that had the Gum Gum fruit or the Nika fruit also had Gear 2. And same for Gear 4. I don't think everybody that had the fruit or would have the fruit would think of Gear 4, blow air, and then be bouncing around like an idiot. That's Luffy. That has Luffy all over it. I can't see anyone else doing that. Gear 5 seems to be more set. Like if you can awaken the fruit, this is what comes with it. Everyone that would awaken the fruit would have this. That's fair. Is the Nika fruit the only Zoan fruit without set transformations? Or does Luffy still have set transformations he doesn't even know about that he's gonna unlock with maybe Vegapunk telling him about the fruit and the truth of the fruit? Do we have more to look forward to after Gear 5? Luffy can have set transformations that turn him into different things. What would those things be? If you make it this far, I would appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Yeah. I know that you gon' say 'cause you need something real.